From turtle-shelled illagers to these crop-growing hummingbirds, here are a bunch of mobs that should already be in Minecraft. Starting with the dastardly tortillagers. Let's face it, illagers have grown a bit predictable, but these guys put a brand new spin on things. And though it looks ridiculous, that won't stop them from spinning around in their large shells, especially as they're able to knock you back with ridiculous force. However, if you can find one of their giant shell-shaped fortresses and defeat them, then you'll be able to stock up on plenty of these illagers' treasures. And we could always use more totems. And now, on the other hand, if you ever come across this weird purple sniffer in the nether, then you'd better run, because that's the Strampler. Be it you or the local wildlife, this brutal apex predator prowls new nether biomes in search of fresh prey. However, if you manage to survive a showdown, you might be able to snag its heart, which is actually used to infect sniffer eggs to hatch them into small clones of the Strampler, which you can then ride. Just don't get cocky. Wild Stramplers hit hard, so bring potions if you plan on taming one. Ow! And now, we have to face the facts. Minecraft swamps will never be complete until we have these ducks waddling around. They're peaceful, loyal, and hungry. And by feeding them cookies, you can actually unlock one of 15 colorful skins for your ducks. Though you really do need a lot of cookies. And now, it's long been known that zombies have the worst drops of any mob. And yet, this sneaky undead is looking to change that. Sure, sometimes he'll use his powers to lob dynamite at you, which can, turn your safe bases into chaotic craters. But if you manage to defeat it, you can't steal its dynamite for yourself, which is great because it can be used to help you out in so many different situations. Though, if your aim slips, you'll wish you had blast protection. Biomes like the desert and snowy plains have their own special mobs, but jungles? Not really. But add in some of these piranhas, and that changes. Adding in a fun yet threatening twist to the biome, these toothy terrors can strip a horse down to its bones in seconds. Wait, hey, that doesn't sound like fun at all! Anyway, if you find yourself in their domain, just give up and stop fighting? Wait a minute, who wrote this? The piranhas? Uh-oh. In Minecraft, we've got ender chests, we've got trap chests, and now we've got walking chests. Though he might just look like a small cube, he's got a big heart. And once wound up, this guy can be given a chest that he'll carry around for you on your adventures. It's kind of like having a whole other player right by your side. And once you've given them all your stuff, you don't have to worry about dying and losing it all. Well, you don't have to worry about yourself dying. Oh, man. Now, sure, piglins with crossbows can be a nuisance, but when they start pulling out these, that's when the real trouble starts. Because with their weapons being some of the most powerful in the game, these mobs, called hornlins, quickly became the masters of unloading their ammo. Wow, you should really get a new hobby, man.
Never! I hate everything!
Well, except for funny memes. Well, here, you can have my phone. I just hope you don't meet the Twitologer. During raids, this guy can be found, just scrolling through the app on his phone and shaking with ever-growing rage. And when he does eventually lose control, he'll start to run around at crazy speeds before shaking and trembling until he literally explodes with anger. And it's so dangerous, even the other illagers will try to avoid him, which makes it all the funnier when you still trick him into friendly fire. Now, every year, Minecraft toys with the idea of adding at least one new mob to the game. And every year, I'm disappointed it's not the tiger. These would finally give the jungle another resident to inhabit it, and would be capable of incredible feats, like leaping over bushes to ambush its prey, or even turning nearly invisible to stalk outsiders. Though they can't be tamed, if fed some raw meat like chicken, they'll give you the tiger's blessing effect, which causes all nearby tigers to treat you like you're one of the pack, pitching in to fight off mobs whenever you find yourself in danger. Oh, thank goodness. The only thing is, they are very hungry. so you might have trouble finding food nearby, especially if you're looking for any of these mobs. Because while they do a great job of providing food for my hungry belly and can give us plenty of leather, they won't just let you have it, fighting back with all the fury they can muster, even afflicting you with a new status effect that causes monsters to be attracted to you, and not in a good way. Ah! Now, horses can be great for getting someplace fast, but that was before we had these roly-polies. After crafting together a special bug salad, these bugs can be tamed to roll around at a pretty mild speed, all things considered. But that all changes when you start killing them, as we can turn their drops into the biker helmet, an item that provides a natural speed increase when riding, and makes you look really cool. Hey, get out of here! This is a handicap space! Oops, sorry. If you let this little guy live, well, then he might just turn into this. And while these mobs named Yakaris might just be residents of our murky swamps, they do have an appetite for more than frogs. See, anytime a player finds themselves the unfortunate late night snack of this mob, it'll grow ever so larger and will continue to devour until it's too large for any mob to handle. Yeesh, if this keeps up, someone's gonna have to call the giant monkey. Without colored dyes, we'd be left with nothing but bland, colorless blocks. And yet, this chameleon somehow makes the dye even more valuable. Found deep in the lush biomes, you wouldn't want to kill these beauties. See, periodically they'll shed their scales, which can be collected for a way to dye your glass and wool directly from your hand, just like a paintbrush. It's a quick and easy way to customize your creations on the go. Now, zombies are one of the first mobs you'll ever encounter, and they're the easiest to take down. But what would happen if they came back to life? Because these new cursed zombies, that's kind of their whole thing. When slain, this mob's entire head detaches from its body to become a flying menace. And if you're lucky, taking down both the body and the head, then this cursed heart is your prize. And be careful, because when brewed into a potion, this item grants invisibility and slow fall, but also inflicts weakness and mining fatigue. So it's as much of a give as it is a take. Kind of like how this new snapping turtle mob gives you pain when all you do is take a walk. See, in muddy biomes, these crafty turtles bury themselves underground, then patiently wait for an unsuspecting player to wander by. It's a simple defense, but one that definitely has the other mobs and players all keeping their distance. This is a leech, and while it's tiny and a bit gross, it might just save your life. Annoyingly, these small parasites will latch onto any creature, sapping their health and then hitting the road once they've had their fill. If you're daring enough though, you can bottle them up and brew these new potions of leeching to sap the health of other mobs when dishing damage. Or you could even make some splash potions instead that'll unleash an army of the little bloodsuckers on your enemies, which is helpful if not a little gruesome. Now, you've probably never seen this new biome, which is good for you because it's filled with acid and a harmful toxic radiation. Yet somehow, these curious basalt crabs seem to get on just fine down here, probably because their shells are too thick for the toxins, which is all but confirmed when killing them for their drops. Because with them, you can craft a new set of crab armor that'll keep you safe from any toxins, which works amazingly when you suddenly run into this guy, named the Brog. He's what happens when a blaze drinks a little too much radioactive soup. Covered in its protective shields, it'll float menacingly, spewing radiation until you smash enough barriers to make him vulnerable. Only then can you take it down to be rewarded with its bog rods, which can be used to create charges that harness this mob's same toxic powers. Better than poison, that's for sure. The next time you think about taming a wolf, don't. Tame this shiny beetle instead. These glow bugs love the taste of honeycomb and will defend any player that feeds them some. See, they just happen to be a living hive of sorts, summoning constant drone beetles out of themselves to provide backup in a fight, and they are tougher than they look. However, if you defeat one in the wild, you can use its drops to forge the Bug Sword, a weapon that can summon tons of your own drone allies, just like the beetle. There are bugs everywhere! Oops. Sorry. Wait, where are your eyebrows?
Huh? Oh, right here.
Ew, gross hair! Ugh, as if Minecraft villagers weren't weird enough, now this guy can be found, hiding amongst the village alleys. And though he looks nearly identical, if caught, you can use this new scissors item to shave off his eyebrows for collectible hair, which can then be crafted into hair blocks. I have no idea why you would want to do this, but I guess it's good to have options. If you ever see fireworks falling from the sky, then you might just be in the middle of a meteor shower. And after landing down, these little stars will hastily roll towards the nearest player before exploding like a creeper. And if that wasn't scary enough, the mob won't actually die, but will instead split into a cluster of smaller fragments that'll hit just as hard. Oh, come on now! And while you could collect the hide these guys drop to make cool new rockets, the colorful biomes these guys inhabit are the real stars of the show. Heck, to live here, I'd battle 1,000 evil star creepers. Now, this is called a Hotsin, and while Minecraft's parrots were busy learning to mimic other mobs, these birds were busy getting dirty. As if it hasn't showered in forever, this mob produces a scent so strong and revolting that anything nearby will immediately run away in disgust. Although, if you're brave enough to brew up some of its feathers, then you can brew its smells into a potion of stink that when drunk will make you just as repulsive.
Oh, wow. Yeah, this is bad.
This is a nether jellyfish, and meeting one could just save your life. Peacefully floating around the nether skies, these mobs are often hunted for their glowing jelly, though I do feel kinda bad. Regardless of what you've heard, this jelly can do more than feed you for a nice glowing effect. Because if crafted into the jelly balloon, it can be clicked when falling to save you from damage. Whew, totally not scary. And though it can normally only be used 3 times, if enchanted with Unbreaking, it'll help it last quite a bit longer. Huh, and hey, maybe that guy knows where we can find some XP. Hello, sir. Could I bother you for a... Oh my! What are you, a creeper? A zombie? Ow! Well, this is the Boomer. Some twisted combination of mobs, it'll only explode once you've dealt enough damage. And then... Oh no. Ah! He'll turn the whole place into a radiation zone, ensuring anything that walks in doesn't walk back out. Okay, well, except for that one pig, I guess. Deep inside of this creepy new forest biome, you should meet the echo bugs. They're often found scurrying about and using their glowing tails to communicate with each other. Though they've also got a talent for being eaten by these guys. The pupsets are natural hunters and can often be found in large packs to keep their prey hopelessly outnumbered. Still, with the right attitude and some echo bug tails, these feral beasts can be tamed, acting in a manner similar to wolves, while also being able to scream for reinforcements. Well, I guess I just adopted a bunch of new pups. You know, I used to think villagers knew everything about farming, and then I met these guys. Assuming they're some distant villager relative, I was surprised to learn that these Inca warriors are actually quite hostile. Well, if you accidentally hit them at least. Damn! Oh no! Ah, I'm sorry! So it's better to take the friendly approach, because that way you can scour their many chests to steal this Zamponia. With this, you can wave hunger bye-bye, as it produces a melody so beautiful that nearby crops can't help but grow up big and strong. Okay, maybe a little too strong, because that one grew legs. Even if you've never seen a vegetable fight back, that's not gonna stop this guy from burying you alive, knocking you 6 feet under anytime he attacks in an attempt to suffocate you. Once slain, however, he drops turnips that you can craft into hearty stews or big decorative turnip blocks, which is a cool way to decorate a farm. I'm just not sure if the villagers have what it takes to survive.
Ah! Wait, why am I running? It's just a silly turnip. I will cook you up into a stew!
Now, trading with other players in Minecraft can be a real hassle, especially when they build their base all the way on the other side of the world. Weirdly though, if you manage to craft a scarecrow like this, then you can summon the crow. And with a special scroll, we can wrap up any item we want and have the crow deliver it directly to your friends, no matter the distance. And plus, if you ever find yourself on fire, this new fan item that's crafted from their feathers can be used to extinguish you at any time. No stopping, dropping, or rolling required. And you'll definitely want to have one of those on hand if you ever face this Wither Necromancer. Found in new graveyard structures, it might look intimidating, but his looks are just the tip of the iceberg. If you anger him, you won't like what comes next, as streams of flame crack through the open ground and the Necromancer raises the withered undead. Seriously, this guy will just toss everything he's got at you. Luckily, however, if we manage to slay him, the rare and rather spooky treasure chest he drops is always filled to the brim with loot. It's a fight that's just as rewarding as it is challenging. Like crayfish hunting, though these little guys would probably slip right through your fingers before you had a chance to see them. Despite their slippery nature, these crustaceans are edible, with green ones that can be cooked for a tasty meal, or blue ones that can be brewed into potions of the swamp crawler. And let me tell you, drinking down one of these is the best way to navigate this murky terrain quickly, though these crocodiles might be a problem. Now, cacti use their sharp spines for protection, but this guy, he uses them for aggression. A formidable creature that roams new creep forest biomes, the quillback is here to make enemies, even shaking off its quills to damage nearby mobs and boost its speed, which makes running away nearly impossible. When you defeat one though, you can brew its quills up into these new splintering potions. Ugh, looks gross, but down it goes. When drunk, they can be used to summon a quill-spewing explosion whenever you die, which makes for a pretty easy way to avenge yourself. Now, you'd think that a zombie with no legs would be pretty easy to avoid. I mean, where's he gonna go? Yet, this crawling zombie seems to do just fine. Actually, I think he's somehow faster than a normal zombie, even the baby ones. What's worse is that due to their size, they can easily squeeze through small gaps. And due to their lighter weight, they are also able to effortlessly climb up walls. It is not about to let you catch your breath. Oh man, okay. Can we take a break? Oh no. Ah! Now, this here is a gazelle, a new passive mob. It roams savannas in large herds, and what makes them so special is that if killed, they have a chance to drop food and their rare horns. What can you do with these? Well, when brewed with the proper ingredients, you can get a Speed 3 potion, which is considerably faster than the swiftness potions we're used to. The tricky thing is, if one gazelle is attacked, the entire herd will scatter in a swift escape, making them hard to hunt, unless a lone gazelle tags behind. So you better make sure you don't miss. Poison can be a really effective way to deal with unwanted pests, and this overgrown colossus is here to agree. These would be the new guardian of our jungle temples, and not only resemble a buffer iron golem, but it fights like one too, wielding abilities that are extra poisonous. The real kicker though is that while it's poisonous to us, the toxins actually heal the golem, meaning you have to act quickly if you want to take it down and acquire its powerful nature crystals. Items necessary for crafting new mossy armor and a special hammer that'll let you summon poison clouds of your own.
Oh, the taste of death is overwhelming.
Now, I think it's pretty clear that the Vex is just an evil version of the Allay. But then what does that make this guy? An eviler Allay? Well, this is the Imp. And like a Vex, these little devils can phase through walls to hit you. However, they can also shoot fire from their fingertips, making fights with them pretty unpredictable. Especially when, after you think you've defeated them, the Imp just splits into two halves and continues its assault. Whoa, maybe leave that to the slimes, buddy. If I asked you right now, which of these two mobs is more useful? Well, you'd probably pick the hummingbird. See, similar to bees, they can be found throughout our forests and meadows, and love to pollinate nearby crops and flowers at every opportunity. Unlike bees, however, if you craft one of these hummingbird feeders, you can fill them with water and sugar to attract more hummingbirds wherever you want. And if then placed next to your crop farms, then your gardens will just get the biggest growth boost. Which is great, but it's also just nice to relax and watch them fly all over. They have such simple lives. Wait, what is that? No, don't smash my, feeder. Aw, man. It looks like I got a visit from the Uvogre. Unlike other mobs, this beast can appear in any biome at any time of day, lumbering around like an idiot. And armed with a massive club, it relentlessly swings and smashes with enough force to obliterate its surroundings. Here, you have to do your best to strike at every opening. And when you finally do take down this brute, you're rewarded with leather and wood, which just does not seem fair to me. There are much easier ways of getting these things. If you're like me, then you're probably tired of asking for new golems. Well, hey, at the very least, by stacking a pumpkin on a clay brick block and then tapping the pumpkin with this special statue, we can create ourselves the ceramic golem. And this guy is a straight upgrade, because you can give him any melee weapon to wield, or you can just chill as a statue that holds and displays your goodies. Just try not to drop him on a hard surface, because he is made of ceramic. Now, this isn't a hamster, and it's not a guinea pig, but rather it's a new mob named a koi. And though cute, coming in a variety of different colors, they actually provide more value as a food source than as a pet, which is strange, given you can't actually cook the meat they drop. Still, they're an especially great mob to have in otherwise barren biome, and a little nibble of their raw flesh might just be enough to save you from starvation. Just be ready to kill a lot of them. I just can't do it. But I need food, or I'll starve.
I could solve your problem.
A vampire villager?
Yes, I was walking home one night and bitten by a very angry bat, which turned me into a creature of the night.
Yeesh. These guys have quite the appetite, biting to drain the health of mobs while restoring their own, which would make them pretty deadly. If they weren't such big cowards, because if you start attacking one, these guys will just transform into a bat and desperately try to escape. And hey, if you hesitate, they might come back for round 2, so it's probably best to not give them a second chance. Oh, hey, this one dropped a new video. Why not give it a click?